HAAS team principal Günther Steiner has revealed the single criteria that Mick Schumacher must achieve to secure a new Formula One contract. The German is in his second season in the sport and will be out of contract at the end of the season. But after a scoreless rookie season, Schumacher finally opened his F1 account at the British Grand Prix by finishing 8th, a position he improved upon at the following race in Austria by finishing 6th. His improved form this year saw Schumacher linked with a move to Aston Martin as a potential replacement for the retiring Sebastian Vettel, before the team confirmed its acquisition of Fernando Alonso. Asked if he has seen a change in Schumacher since he broke his scoring duck, Steiner told GP fans, "No, I would say it started in Canada. He was, in my opinion, a bit more chilled out, even if he didn't score points there. I don't know why that happened. I have no idea. Don't ask me why. I just felt like he was a little bit more relaxed, and then the race after the points came. Maybe it's got to do with that one. It's difficult to say with these guys. They have been racing for so long. They've got poker faces, masking what they play and what they think." On what Schumacher needs to do to convince him to green-light a new deal, Steiner added, "Score more points." After criticism earlier in the season, Mick Schumacher asked people to stop focusing on creating headlines and on the facts instead. There was little expectation on Schumacher in his rookie Formula One season, particularly due to the fact that HAAS VF21 could rarely muster a challenge against a rival team. But the situation changed after a major overhaul to the regulations for 2022 saw HAAS starting the season as a leading midfield outfit. Kevin Magnussen scored a P5 finish on his first race back after the call came in pre-season for him to return to HAAS in place of Nikita Mazepin. Schumacher, though, went through the early rounds still unable to score points for the first time, while heavy crashes in Saudi Arabia and Monaco created further tension. The 23-year-old would snap that streak, though, with a pair of impressive showings as he finished P8 at Silverstone and then P6 in Austria, those results going a long way to dull the criticism which had significantly built up. Schumacher did not take too kindly to this criticism, believing it came from people who did not always know all of the facts behind the situation. Motorsport.com cite the Spanish Grand Prix as an example where Schumacher was forced to battle with suspension issues. People are kind of focused on building headlines in a way, he told Motorsport.com. "Yeah, I understand that people need to make money and they need to do some stuff. But on the other hand, also I would appreciate if people would, maybe take more time to actually build up facts." Schumacher at no stage began to doubt his own capabilities behind the wheel of a Formula One car, refusing to get caught up in reflecting on errors like those in Saudi Arabia and Monaco. Instead, he looks forward and feels that he can transfer his trend of finding the top 2 positions in Junior Series into the same result in Formula One. "I don't really reflect on those again or go back to those. I know what I'm able to do. I know what I'm worth," Schumacher affirmed. "So my focus is really on that. I just try to do my best, and normally the best that I can do should be enough to perform well, because it has been like that in Formula 2 and Formula 3 and also Formula 4. In each championship that I've competed in junior categories, I was able to be the second or first. So I don't see any reason why I shouldn't be able to do that in Formula 1. Someone who could be in line to replace Schumacher if HAAS decided not to renew his contract would be Antonio Giovinazzi. Antonio Giovinazzi will return to Formula One with practice outings for HAAS at both the Italian Grand Prix and the United States Grand Prix in Austin. He will replace both Kevin Magnussen and Mick Schumacher once each, but his outings won't count as one of the 2 required rookie outings that need to be completed. The Italian remains a Ferrari reserve driver despite losing his seat with Alfa Romeo at the end of last season and has raced in Formula E this year. "I'm so glad to have the chance to drive again in official F1 sessions," Giovinazzi said. "Besides simulator driving, it is important to test a true car, and I can't wait to put my suit and helmet back on. It'll be an opportunity to get confident with the new generation cars. It's the best way to be ready if I were ever called as reserve driver. Driving on challenging and more exciting tracks as Monza and COTA makes it even more thrilling. Thanks to HAAS F1 team and Scuderia Ferrari, I'm looking forward to giving my contribution to the team that counted on me already in 2017. HAAS team principal Günther Steiner said that Ferrari requested the experience to help Giovinazzi be ready if he's ever needed as a stand-in, while the American team has yet to confirm who will race alongside Magnussen in 2023. "We're happy to welcome Antonio Giovinazzi back to the team for the 2 FP1 outings," Steiner said. Ferrari were keen to give Antonio some seat time in a current spec Formula One car on a race weekend, and we were naturally happy to assist. "We enjoyed a similar situation back in 2017 with Antonio and Ferrari. The clear difference between then and now is the experience he'll have gained competing for the previous 3 seasons in Formula One and the feedback he'll be able to give us in Italy and America. I'm looking forward to seeing Antonio again and having him back in the paddock with us." As if HAAS do decide not to renew the deal, Schumacher could find himself at Alpine Racing. The young German is rumoured to be struggling to maintain the confidence of the HAAS team and Ferrari's Formula One Driver Development Academy. His uncle, Ralf Schumacher, however, thinks 23-year-old Mick is a candidate to replace Fernando Alonso at Alpine, with the Renault-owned team's preferred driver, Oscar Piastri, likely heading to McLaren. It turns out that Laurent Rossi, the CEO of Alpine, who has been mucking up a lot of stories over the past couple of years, has followed Mick Schumacher on social media, said Alex Popov, the Russian F1 commentator for Match TV. Now everyone is saying maybe they won't take Ricciardo after all. Mick, as we hear, is leaving the Ferrari Academy and has problems at HAAS. Even though he started to go better in the last races, the relationship has apparently been ruined, Popov insisted. In short, Ocon is now the lead driver, and Mick is young but has gained enough experience for his 3rd season, so there is a lot of talk about him. Is it very likely? I don't know, to be honest. Sebastian Vettel did back HAAS driver Mick Schumacher to replace him at Aston Martin when he retires at the end of the season. This news meant there was a vacant seat alongside Lance Stroll at Aston Martin next year, and speculation was rife over who will fill it. Vettel, who is close to the Schumacher family and grew up idolising Mick's father Michael, said he had briefly talked to Aston Martin owner Lawrence Stroll about possible replacements. "Well, obviously I spoke to Lawrence and told them that I'm not going to continue," Vettel said. "We did have a very brief chat about what might be next. I do have my opinion. I think very highly of Mick. I'm obviously not entirely objective because I am very close to him, but I do think he's a great driver. He's a learner. He keeps learning when others sort of stall or stop making progress. So he does have a lot of qualities, but he is also very young still. So I don't know, it's not my decision. If I am asked, I will give my opinion, but in the end, the team have to make that decision." And in the end, we do know that team made that decision, and the seat went to Fernando Alonso. Schumacher currently drives for HAAS, but is not contracted to the team beyond the end of this year. HAAS team principal Gunther Steiner has said that he and team owner Gene Haas would make a decision by the Italian Grand Prix in September. "We will know by the end of the European season what we are doing, and then we will communicate it," Steiner said. "We need to start to speak to Gene about it and talk through the different scenarios of what we're going to do. It has become standard to speak about this, but we will take our time." However, former Formula One driver Timo Glock is concerned for Schumacher and what his future holds. Glock analysed Schumacher's situation to Sky, and everything depends with whether he is still talking to other teams in the background, but also the interest of HAAS. He adds, "Maybe they need a driver who brings money. That would be a difficult position for Mick." He is quoted by Speedweek. The German continues, "Because HAAS has lost a strong backer in Nikita Mazepin, the question of the financial situation among Americans is a question mark, and that would be crucial for Mick's future." Glock is convinced, however, that Schumacher will get the chance to continue to prove his talent. He saw a lot of potential in the weekends before the summer break. He saw a development, and as long as that development is there, that is very positive. That is why I'm convinced that we will see Mick back in Formula One in 2023. We'll have to wait and see where that will be. I'm curious myself.